You just go on here. The people are already in here. They're already there. And to me, because the fact that they don't have any contracts, right? Or they have few contracts, they're basically saying, hey, I'm here because I want to do business, but I don't know what I'm doing. And so ultimately, those are the people that we reached out to. We talked to them, and those are the people that we sell on the knowledge that we have of how to do business with the government. And we work with them, and we make sure that we find qualified, capable people, and then we then bring them on and impart the knowledge that we have on doing government contracting. So why does this work? It works because most business owners are owner operators. If you watch my construction video, I tell you this all the time. Most business owners are owner operators. What does that mean? I mean, most business folks, they are trying to run the business. So they're trying to run the business. And because they're trying to run the business, they are now in the weeds running the business. They can't focus on growing the business. How many people, when they read books, it says you got to work on your business, not in the business? Anybody read those in the books? On the business, not in the business. But what do most of us do? We work in the business, not on the business. So if they don't have anybody that, for example, a chief growth strategy officer, they're not working on the business. So when we come to them, we're like heroes. We're like saints to a lot of people because they don't have anyone. They can't necessarily afford anyone. And they got their head down like, hey, I'm just trying to keep the lights on. I'm just trying to keep the doors open. So those are the people we want to target. They've been successful at building a business. So again, like I said, they're 5 million, 7 million, 10 million. But they have not been able to grow and expand the business. I have a company right now that we work with that does 25 million a year. They've never done any 8A contracts. They've been 8A for 4 years. Why? The guy's like, Eric, I'm doing 25 million a year. I got to keep that business floating, but I don't have time to go chase this other work. So I think we think that because people are doing these big numbers, 5 million, 2 million, 8 million a year, that they have time to focus on everything. They're busy. They don't have time to focus on everything. So they can only focus in, right, on keeping that pot of money going. So when we talk to them, when we reach out to them, it makes it's a very warm, welcome invite that, hey, we want to help you grow on this federal side of business. And so that's the gist of it. So that's the gist of what we do. That's the gist of what Randy, Maria, Zach, Marcus Streeter, like a lot of people, our students, where we found that they've had the most success. Now, once you've done that and you start helping people win, by the way, I put our email address down here, put our phone number down here. You can call us, text us. Like I said, we've got a webinar coming up Friday and Saturday. We're going to go into full details on this. But I did want to come share with people because we do have a 5-day challenge that we're opening up April the 10th. And so we're going to help. We want to help a couple hundred people find consultant clients that they can work with. I can tell you last week on one of our webinar sessions, we had a guy that we shared this with. And I said, listen, most people on this call don't have a business, but most of you know somebody that has a business. And I said, just think about it. Who do you know that has a business? And he says, you're right. My best friend has a HVAC company that he works in 8 different states. I said, boom, there you go. So right there, you can reach out to your friend and have him be a consultant. And he was like, yeah, you're right. I'm like, if you call your friend and tell him you want to help him expand his business and grow it, he's not going to tell you no. He's like, yeah, you're right. I said, okay. I said, now check this out. And this is the kicker for all you guys listening. I'm typing something in the computer. By the way, so when he told me his friend has this company that has 22 HVAC firm, like offices around the country, you know what I told him? I was like, if you get them as a consultant client, I can work with you because we need HVAC. And if he's operating in 8 states, then we can use him. So you see, he went from a guy with no business, with nothing, where he didn't have really any value to what we had to the table to now, Eric, well, my friend has this HVAC company that works in 8 states. Well, if you go sign him up and you represent him, you can bring him to us because now you have someone that has real value they can contribute. I can work with you. So why this benefits me, because if you guys go out and find good companies, now I can work with you guys. So this is what I want to do is help people to get these firms so that then you could work with us and then we could scale this thing and grow it. And we could build like a real organization. We can do real deals. I'm constantly, by the way, Chieftain, remind me, we are literally right now, and I just dropped the webinar here. But we are literally right now working with several entities that are paying us money to help market them to small businesses that they want to partner with. Y'all hear me? So again, on the website, I sent the link in there. Here's the webinar Friday and Saturday. I hope to see many people in there, because if you guys go out and you start partnering with these $5 and $10 million companies, you could come back to us, bring it to the table. We have folks that are looking for those capabilities. And so now we could talk about how to do business at a big level. And that's how you skip the line. There's nothing wrong with building organically. There's nothing wrong with growing over time. I love Peter Gibbs. He wants you to get a bond, do 100,000. And then when you finish that, get another bond, do another 100,000, and then grow your skill. That's incremental growth. That's great. I like that. But what I'm talking about is we are out of time. We're out of time. We need to do this now. They are threatening all these programs. Y'all know what's happening now with the whole Supreme Court and affirmative action. They're threatening every program that you guys are a part of. It's under attack. MBDA, under attack. 8A was under attack. The DBE programs, currently under attack. So all the programs are currently are under attack. So if I've heard from people that, again, if we go down this path, we're not going to have any programs. And then I don't even know what to teach y'all at that point, because we ain't going to have no programs that we can leverage and that we can work with. And so that means that only big companies will have access to these opportunities. If you don't believe me that these programs are under attack, do your own research. Don't listen to me. Okay? I'll show you real quick. Look, I just Googled DBE court challenges. A handful of lawsuits constitutionally, workforce goals, and federal construction contracts make it hard for underrepresented groups for those contracts in 2024. All of these programs are under attack. Everything. It's going to get harder for us. So the best thing that anyone could do right now is, if you go out and you find a successful company and you're able to help leverage them to get opportunities, and we can sit at the table and we can start, I have lots of partnerships, and we can start partnering on deals. Then now we have real power. And so once you build up enough actual terms of contracts, in terms of capabilities, then you won't need any of these goals. So my man here, where he at? So my man here in this book. So David Stewart, on this book here, he was in an 8A program. He was doing 17 million a year. Then he went to 70 million a year. Today he's doing about, I think it's 17 billion a year. He went through these programs. It turned him into a billionaire. But before you can start doing non-government work, non-social economic work, you got to have capacity. So we want to help you guys get capacity. So then it doesn't matter what happens with the programs because now you have capacity. Are y'all following me? I hope so. I hope so because I want to get more people capacity. I'm analyzing everything that we're doing. I told y'all what I'm working on. I'm setting up my own entity-owned organization so that I can roll some of you guys up in there. But I can tell you right now, people are telling me, Eric, can we pay you to train people to build capacity so we can buy their companies? Them the conversations that I'm having. So they want me to train people to build their capacity because you're not valuable to them at 1 million, 2 million. You're valuable to them at 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 million. You don't get there unless you're working with someone that can support those types of contracts. And then as a result, you'll now start to work with at that level, and then that'll become your new base level. Khalil, what area do you recommend I niche down on? So Khalil, that's a question for the webinar. The book is called Doing Business by the Good Book. David Stewart is his name. The organization is called WWT, Worldwide Technologies. It talks about how he was able to leverage that. Now, that's not the premise of the book, but in the book, it talks about how he was able to leverage the 8A business development program to go from 17 million to 70 million and then learn about DoD contracting. So all I'm trying to do is get you guys in the room at the table. So T. Shelley, then you can start being incentivized to learn about DoD contracting. By the way, and no one asked me this question. No one said, where are these people at today? So right now, Chris Facey, since that time of winning that contract, and he won the IDIQ, so he wasn't able to leverage the whole 21 million. I think he was able to leverage a few million of that, but he was able to build up his team to 4 or 5 full-time employees, and he's since been able to maintain at that level because of where he's at, his astuteness. Now he's able to leverage his team to go out and get other opportunities, leveraging now the stuff that he did on this past opportunity, this contract. Miguel here. Miguel now works for, hold on, I'll pull it up for you guys. Miguel works for Big Bear AI. And so Big Bear AI is a publicly traded company. Here, I'll keep it on the screen. I'll make it bigger so you can see it. So Big Bear AI is a publicly traded company. You can see their stock market that does sales to the government like artificial intelligence solutions. And Miguel now does BD for this huge company. That's where he went to. He went from, I want you to watch his story. Like, I need y'all to, like, do me a favor. Promise me this. Even if you don't go to the webinar, can you watch Miguel's story? Like, I need you guys to watch his story because when he came, he was talking about, doing post office contracts and stuff like that. So he went from talking about doing work for the post office to now working for a publicly traded AI firm that sells to the Department of Defense by being a consultant first. So I'm saying this because a lot of times I think we also, we need a little bit of direction. I do realize I have a lot of content, a lot of videos out there, but I think these stories, they speak volumes because you get to have context of where you're at in your journey versus where these people are at and then where they're at today. Maria took a whole sabbatical so far. She's been gone 6 months. She said maybe in the rest of the year, just doing mission work because she stacked her paper with consulting contracts. Now she's able to take 6 months off. She may end up taking a whole year off. If anybody follows Maria on Instagram or any social handles, you'll see her. She's running. She did a 5K and a 10K. I think she did a half a marathon now. So this is the reality. But if you had started a company and you try to grow organically, one contract, get financing, get a bank loan, the bank don't want to lend you money, right? Try to get this, try to perform. That makes it harder for you to grow and scale. And when you find people that are successful, they understand the value of consultants. So it's not a hard pitch. So I just want to say that because I want, like I said, I want everyone to be able to come in and be able to add capacity, capabilities, be able to add value. So then now when I'm introducing you guys at events and conferences, things that I'm doing, people that I work with will want to work with you guys. Make sense? So I have the webinar link on there. It's below the screen. Like I said, we got a session Friday and Saturday, and we'll be pushing this till the end of the month. Listen, if I can get a couple hundred guys working in a capacity together, imagine the kind of scale, leverage we're going to have. By the way, like on some high level stuff, this goes beyond just like helping them get contracts, right? Because when you help them get like we're now doing acquisitions. So if you heard me, people are wanting to pay me to train companies to build a capacity so they can just buy them. This is the level that we're playing at now. I've shared this before, but I'll share it again for you guys out here. Right now, pull this up. Private equity firms are facing pressure as dry powder hits a record $2.5 trillion. Eric, what does that mean? So what does that mean is all these private equity firms have all this capital and cash to buy businesses. They don't have enough businesses. Do you see what this says right here? Global private equity deal values show a 35% decline. What does that mean? They can't find enough stuff to buy. They can't find enough businesses to buy. So they're asking me to now train people to build them up so they can buy them. Which is a weird, like if you guys been watching me, I know Chieftain, you've been around for a long time. But like if you guys been watching me for a couple of years now, you ain't never heard me talk like this. Because I didn't never talk like this because this didn't happen to me before. I've had 3 meetings with big banks in the last week. So yes, IRL, if you said I'm dressing up, it's because I'm now in the rooms with banks that are buying Govcon businesses. And they want me to help them to buy more businesses. The only way I know how to help them buy more businesses is to help you guys to get with people who have businesses, grow it, scale it, and then we could sell it to these other folks. So we're going way beyond contracts. The contracts is the first like bite of the apple. But we have people right now that if you help these folks get contracts, I can help them get acquired. And so now think about what kind of a hero you are, going in and saying, hey, we're going to help you get contracts. And then if he decides like, hey, you want to sell, then we can help them with that. And by the way, for all you guys thinking, yes, if you help someone do that, you get a piece as well. So I didn't have these opportunities before. So now, if you hear me say Eric starts leaning more towards consulting and contracting, is because I need y'all to scale up faster. I need you to get a client. When you get the client, then you could buy a course and learn how to do the contracting. Then you'll be motivated to do the contracting. When I tell you about the end game of like we can sell that company, we've had somebody that want to buy that company. If we can grow it by this much, now you're going to be more inclined to want to do that deal. I think so. I could be wrong. Maybe that's still not enough motivation for you. I'm just telling you, I'm taking you guys along the journey with me. Taking y'all along the journey with me. That's all. I've been doing it for a long time now. I've been sharing this for a long time. Look, I'm gonna show y'all because I want y'all to see this stuff. All right, that's my boys right there. One of my friends, company, helped them to do an acquisition. These guys co-CEOs. They're now approaching $50 million. All right. This is the kind of deals we're doing. I'm doing stuff with Blair Marza, the Govcon accounting firm. Side does M&A for Govcon businesses. So this girl in the picture to the left in the black, she works for a venture capital company helping invest in Indian-owned businesses. I'm not just taking random pictures with random people. Maybe y'all don't know who these people are, so that's why y'all don't have any context. Matter of fact, do me a favor. Go when you go to the webinar, right? When you go to the webinar and you guys sign up Friday, Saturday. By the way, we'll be doing 2 a week until April the 10th. April the 10th, we're gonna do the challenge, right? For all my DC people, Virginia people, I'm gonna invite you to an event that we're doing May 2nd. We're gonna be talking about these strategies. Now but that's like the next phase. So don't get excited now. I'm just planting the seeds. But first things first, we got to get you guys to understand, right, and find a consultant client that you can work with so that we can help you support you. Now you can apply the lessons that you learned from the courses. And the goal is to get them to buy the course for you. That's our goal. So then you could apply the lessons and then you could operate with us up here. And then we could talk about an exit strategy, whether it's for you, for the company, the client, whatever the case may be. I hope that this makes sense to people. Chieftain, I already know. Chieftain, you're going to have the information. You already know you're going to have it, brother. So you're going to have it. So I want to say that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give y'all a teaser. Hold on. Give y'all a tease. 1 second. Give y'all a tease. Look, I'm telling you guys, they are. Somebody wrote in there about Nixon the program. Hey, IRL, this is for you. This is for you. Hold on. I'm gonna show y'all the programs. Because they said, does anybody else watching what's happening with all the different social economic programs? Are you guys seeing that? How they're being challenged? All the race-based programs are being challenged right now. Anybody seeing that? Yes? No? But hold on, I'm waiting for my computer receiver for my cell phone. All right, give me a second. Hey, look, give me a second. I'm gonna show y'all this because look, my job is to educate, but I also feel like my job is to motivate. So I got to get y'all motivated so y'all understand what we're talking about. I want y'all to understand this, but I need you, right? So check this out. I got some feedback from my conference. On my conference, a lot of people were asking my guests, like, hey, I'm just starting out, and like asking them to teach you this stuff. So it was very embarrassing to me because some of my partners were like, hey, you know, like, your people, Eric, were kind of like asking us about like how to do contracting. And I can, like, you should not be doing that because it makes you look small. So you should be learning here with us. So when you go out to the world and you're talking to these folks, right? You don't give the appearance that you don't know what you're doing. So that's why we're doing this. I need you guys to stop doing that because you're embarrassing yourself and you're embarrassing me. So just a little taste right here, as you can see. All right. So just a little taste, but again, we need people to not do that because there it is right there. Tribal partnerships done right. Boom, 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 boom. So again, I just want to show you guys that. It's cheap, then I'll send it to you. Because I want you to see the bigger picture of where we're headed. I want you to see the long-term perspective of things. Because now gives you, sometimes I think we all just need a reason, right? We need a reason to do some of the stuff. Yes, correct. Tip of the iceberg, race, gender, all that's next. Yeah. So unfortunately, I'm not really sure, like given the circumstances. I mean, I made a video when it did 8-8 last year and I said not to worry about it, but now it's trickling down to everyone. So for me, I'm like, okay, we got to do something, and we got to do it like major, and we have to do it now. So I hope to see you guys Friday, this Saturday on the webinar. Email questions below, down there. Email Erica, call the number. The link is right there at govcontract.com/join. I look forward to seeing you guys on the webinar. I hope this is helpful, because to me, this is the only way in 2024, right? This is the fastest way for any of us to be able to get to that situation, because now you've got a client, a customer, and they have the work history, they know how to perform, and then you're going to come in and apply the Govcon kind of stuff that we teach and be able to scale them up. And then on the back end, you could team, you could sub, you could sell. Like you'll have your whole slew of options, right? But the first thing is, right, let's get you guys some people that you can work with, so that you can be able to help support them. And then you can come to the table, and now you can be in the same rooms as me doing the stuff that we do at a high level. So I just want to say that was, uh, uh, like I took a red-eye flight last night, just got back in for my red-eye flight. By the way, I thought this was a cool picture. Let me see if I can zoom in for you. So this guy right here, this is Rob. Rob actually works for Microsoft. He is the tribal representative for federal government for Microsoft. And this skateboard he made is for one of the tribal council members. They are a skateboarder, and so he made this skateboard for them. So again, I tell you, stay in a room, be in a room. This is the head of economic development for one of the tribal groups, the Navajo Nation. He's the head of economic development. I spoke at their event. So lots of opportunity out here. but we got to start, we got to start where we're at and then work our way up. And so I think, once we show you guys how to do this, and again, I'll put all the links to everybody who we talked about, Miguel, Randy's story. If for those of you who are just joining us now, by the way, hit the like button. We didn't even talk about hitting the like button. Hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button. But if you're just joining us, we talked about Randy's story, how Randy got started, and essentially she went from here asking questions about what type of contracts, how to apply for contracts, how to choose women-owned, this-owned, to then helping the FAA with some of their SAP contract opportunities going unfulfilled. So she went from that to that by consulting. And so we want to talk to you guys about consulting and how you can do the same thing. And then we can then level you up to now where she's at, where she's supporting 9-figure businesses and helping them break into the federal arena. So it's an incredible opportunity for those who want to take it on. And again, you don't need any past performance. You don't need any capital. You're leveraging other people's resources. So I think it's a better way for the majority of my audience, at least, who's here listening to me, following me. So again, I'll see you on Friday at the webinar. Look forward to it. And we'll keep chatting. Thanks, guys. Be good. Have a great night.